Throw loops keep coming up. I think because season 3 is on the horizon for Street Fighter, I've been thinking about it more and more. Like, I'm very curious what they do with season 3. It feels like if there's a time to make system changes that are pretty big in the game, now would kind of be the time. My thought though is I hope they don't add a system change for no reason. I hope they're not just like, guys, it's season 3, let's do something silly. Kusoge patch, sure, why not? Yes, none of you guys actually want that because Tekken literally just did that and you guys are all fucking pissing and shitting yourselves and saying that you're gonna quit and that this game is not the game you used to love. So you're lying. Everybody wants the patch to be goofy and silly if you're not playing that shit. I'll tell you what. I think it's going all right? Like all things considered. Because like clearly the game is fun. The game has cool characters. The game is popular. Lots of people are playing it. So I hope if they're going to make like a big change, it's not just for nothing. It's just something they feel strongly about. And the way they've made changes in Street Fighter 6 so far does not strike me as reactive or doing stuff just for the sake of it. It feels very thought out and not super responsive in like a bad way. Now, when it comes to throw loops, first and foremost, I think throw loops make a lot of sense to have in the game. I'm not telling you I love them. I'm not telling you I hate them. I think they make a lot of sense to have in the game currently. Because the anti-strike mechanic in the game is very, 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 very powerful. Parry. The other thing about it is that the game really does not have powerful strike mix-ups in general. This game doesn't have strong left, right, overhead, low mix-ups comparative to other Street Fighter games because of parry. Because it's one button, it's not a direction, so you don't have to guess the direction on the parry. It means that same frame mix-ups are not as scary. You can tap parry OS and cover overhead low and then drive rush to try to like beat the throw option or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like tap parry is just so powerful. This is Cap. Look at third strike. Do you know how third strike parry works versus Street Fighter 6 parry? If so, the sentences I just said would probably make more sense. And like Street Fighter 3 has humongous Kara throws and City of the Wolves doesn't have throw loops, but City of the Wolves has a hop. You can just run in, short hop on someone's head, and then throw or short hop again, you know. Hops completely change how offense is structured. The game is just different. The game is just not the same. But let's go back. Throws in general in this game are not that powerful. I know you're going to be mad. You're going to be really mad. Hold on. Wait. Throws in this game are not that powerful in isolation compared to other Street Fighter games. Because they do 1200 damage on most characters having 10,000 life. The frame advantage is situation after. Like think about a Street Fighter 4 throw. Lots of characters when they throw you, they get hard knockdowns and safe jumps. They get left-right mix-up. They can dash you across the screen. They can take a lot of corner space. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you gain off of throws. Even in third strike, you like get a throw and then you get like left-right mix-up or like super jump mix-up or whatever you want to do after. The rewards for Street Fighter 6 throws are not that big. You don't have that much frame advantage. They don't do that much damage. So I'm not surprised they give you looped offense afterwards. Even comparing it to Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 doesn't have like the same throw loops, but Street Fighter 5 has plus frame mids. You do crouching medium punch, you're plus, crouching medium punch, you're walk up plus, crouching medium punch, walk up, you're plus, right? And in this game, cost a resource to gain plus frames. They don't exist naturally for very many characters, and even if they do, the strings are like 3 hit. You light, and you're already pushed away, and like that's the end. Maybe you have light, stand light into a special cancel or something. Like you don't have a lot of like offense that's very sticky in this game without a resource. If throws give you less reward, then you are spending more resources constantly to get in, and then it just becomes more and more expensive to run any kind of offense. And the anti-strike option in the game is already really powerful. So I'm not surprised that throws are the way they are. Now, can they change the throws? Yeah, they could make throw loops not exist. They can make it so that when you throw someone, it doesn't give you the same Oki as it does now. They could make it so that when you throw someone, you have double the frame advantage, but then you have throw protection on wake up or something, right? They could do it like that if they wanted to, which would make parry really powerful, but give you access to like more reward when you land them. They could make it so that more moves are plus, or like the way frame situations work in the game is generally better for strikes, so that people want to parry more, so that throw is more powerful because of that. They could make punish counter throw versus parry really powerful, and then make regular throw not give you any reward because of that, so that people are trying to parry all the time because regular throw is weaker, and then punish counter throw when you're parrying is more powerful. They could make a million changes. But my guess as to why they haven't done any of those changes and why throw loops are still in the game, and they're still designing characters with throw loops in the game, is because they think throw loops make sense within the rest of their system, and defensively they're weighted better. They can even make smaller changes that are like not that big, making it so that throws have more whiff recovery. If you backdash, you can more reliably punish a throw. That also makes throw teching weaker. Whiff a throw on defense, your opponent has more time to punish you, or like If you do delayed throw on your opponent's offense, then jump back is like always a punish. Delayed jump back on wake up is like even better, or like jump back in general. Same thing with drive rush. You could adjust drive rush very easily by like making drive rush have a more extended hurt box, so it doesn't mess with combos, but it makes checking out neutral feel more consistent and better. And I'm not telling you I love throw loops. I'm not telling you they have to be in the game. I'm not telling you they can't make changes to the system. I want you to think about this, because what people say about me is that I say throw loops have to be in the game because parry is too powerful, and I love throw loops and I think they're fucking awesome, and everybody else hates throw loops, but Sajam loves them. It's not true. I don't care. They could totally remove it, or they could keep it in, or they could, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. If the game is good, I'll play it. If the game is bad, I won't play it. I don't care. But that's my guess as to why. Their fear is that offense in the game is not that powerful in regards to non-resourced offense. If you just think about the game, you need to be able to hit people. And like, the game has lots of ways to generate plus frames or offense in mid-range with drive gauge, which is a resource you have to spend. If a character has A plus normal, it's like, oh, you know, as versus like other games where they're like far more common. And throws by themselves don't lead to as much frame advantage or as powerful of a left-right situation because parry exists and all that other stuff. My thought is, if they do want to make throws weaker in the game and they want to change throw defense in some way, that they're going to make a couple of changes to shift things to make things feel better. Slightly nerf parry in some way to make the throw not need to be as powerful, to make the strike feel better. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a couple, they could start tuning knobs and dials to make everything feel better. And it's just whether they find something that feels better than what they think the current defensive situation is. They don't want to change something to change something, and then the game ends up being not better for it just to appease people, but then the game's worse for it. Just think about the game right now with this JP guy and this Guile guy. Imagine fighting them with worse throw loops and punish countered on drive rush and like worse drive rush recovery. Like, the zoners in this game, like these characters, these guys are already so good. Yeah, they'll probably also need changes. I mean, I think JP probably needs changes anyway. But the only like fear I have is like a version of Street Fighter 6 where like everybody does like button into drive rush. Drive reversal happens, and then now you've traded your meter for theirs in a favorable way, and then they're like in a meter penalty, and then you just are in mid-range at like such a huge advantage for like an uninteresting interaction. That's like the kind of game I fear. It's punishing interaction, like punishing trying to play the game and like make something happen, which I think is like, eh. I'm sure a lot of you watch Capcom Cup. The amount of times people just get raw throw looped and then never ever escape, or they're just down to eat it, is a lot lower than the times people escape with like backdash or invincible move or drive reversal, or just jump forward out of the corner and eat the anti-air, or their opponent delays the throw to try to like respect the reversal and then they get out because of something else. Perhaps when the throw loops happen, they're just like not interesting enough for people. They just don't like how it is and like how it looks. So maybe they should change it for that reason. And I think if they're going to do that, the season 3 patch or the season 4 patch both make more sense to do it than the first two, because they will have had time to think about it and see the game develop and make an informed choice. In general, comparing the Street Fighter patches to patches for all the other fighting games, the Street Fighter devs have been pretty like careful and like thorough with how they've thought about patching. So personally, if the choice was make some haphazard weird change to like try to make it so that people don't have to watch throw loops anymore, or don't change anything and come up with a better solution, or never change it because they don't have a solution that they personally feel makes the game better, I would just defer to like whatever makes the game better. Because I don't care. If the game, like I played Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5 did not have throw loops. They removed them. I played Street Fighter 5 the whole time without throw loops. You guys probably know. I don't care. I play Arxis games that have throw protection on wake up. I play versus game where regular throws fucking suck, brother. Regular throws in versus games are whack. Why would I regular throw someone 99% of the time when I could do unreactable overhead low left right mix? Think I give a fuck about regular throws? And this isn't to say that any of the changes are like bad ideas on paper, or like any of the changes shouldn't happen, or they shouldn't mess with the system of the game, because like I don't think any of that's true. I think you can change the system however you want. I think it's just that changes are hard to think up. So like I'm very curious what they actually tackle it with. What do they think is the problem with the system, and like how do they design a solution to it that's like elegant and doesn't feel like barbaric? Because I don't think you want this patch to come out and then all of us are like, you know what, Tekken players, maybe you didn't have it so bad. I think everything revolving around drive is what's lame. I think it's what makes the game cool. In fact, I think like other games, they're probably like, oh shit, this drive system's pretty cool. How do we do something similar? And it won't be back in the next game probably anyway, right? So I like Street Fighter 4 and 5 and 6, and they're all really different in their own ways. I'm gonna sneeze. I could feel it.